Hey, well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Friday Lunch and Learn sponsored by the Do Space. My name is Julie, and I'll be your facilitator this afternoon. I'm so happy that you have joined me. I am going to put the chat over here on another monitor, so if you have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat or turn your microphone on. Either way is just fine with me. So today we're going to be focusing on Microsoft Word basics. If there is something specific that you would like me to demonstrate, I would be happy to do so as long as I'm knowledgeable of it. But feel free to let me know if there's something in particular that you're looking for out of this webinar, and I will do my best to facilitate your needs. So just a little bit about Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is a word processor. It was developed by Microsoft. It's in the Microsoft Suite, which the suite used to be, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Access. And now we've got all of these other applications in there. But it's been out since 1983, and obviously it is a tool that we use on a regular basis. Now, whether you have Microsoft Word or maybe another word processor, a lot of what I'm going to talk about today will translate or transfer to any word processor. So we're going to be looking at some key points today. I'm going to go ahead and show you all of the ribbons. We're mainly going to stay on the home ribbon and the insert ribbon. The insert ribbon is where all of the fun happens, so that's where I like to spend most of my time. And we are going to talk about some keyboard shortcuts, just so that you have them. Keyboard shortcuts, it depends on whether, how long you've been using the computer, how comfortable you are with the computer, but keyboard shortcuts can save you time if you are comfortable with that. People will often say to me, well, what's the best way to do this on a computer? And it's really whatever you're most comfortable with. And then the more comfortable you become with the computer, with Microsoft Word, the more often you're going to use some of these other features. Just looking at upcoming webinars to close out March. I'm going to be talking about MS PowerPoint and next week, and March 28th is Internet Basics. And then I just sent the Do Space the next 3 months. We've got some really exciting things coming up. Let me see if I can grab that real quick. Just want to see if my screen changed. It did. This is what I'm proposing. They're a little bit different than just saying Microsoft Word. So I've got some more descriptions in there, but this is what we're going to be looking at in April, May, and June. So we're going to go from Excel, and the reason that I focused on Excel in April is because we will start another cohort of Accelerate, which, if you're not familiar with Accelerate is a 6-week training. It's on Tuesdays from 11 to 1 on Microsoft Excel. It is virtual. You can go to the Do Space and log in utilizing one of their PCs if you would like to, however. And it is free. That's probably the most important part. So, and then we're going to, in May, we're going to branch out a little bit. We're going to look at the organization of files, MS OneNote, some advanced features in Microsoft Word, and then visualizing data with charts and pivot tables in Excel, creating effective business presentations with PowerPoint, understanding Windows 11 moving into July, how to use Google search like a pro, introducing cloud computing, what is it and how does it work? And then we're going to round out June with an introduction to artificial intelligence, understanding the basics. So that's kind of the calendar that we have coming up for the next 3 months. So if you're interested in any of that, make sure that you go in and sign up. I don't think that those are on the calendar quite yet, but just to give you a glance as to what we'll be looking at. All right, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to open up a blank Word document. If you're at home or in your office and you would like to follow along with me, that would be awesome. Pull this over here to my other window. So when you first go into Microsoft Word, it's going to give you the option to open up a blank document, which is where we're going to go today. But it also has some templates. I typically tell people that I don't use the templates. However, I have used them for business cards, for address labels. They're great for something like that. I also like to look at them to get different ideas. I don't feel like I'm a real creative person, so I like to go in and get different ideas from the templates. But please go ahead and look at the templates. Maybe it's something that you would like to use. I'm just going to go ahead and go into a blank document. All right, now we'll go ahead and close up that navigation pane. And this is what Microsoft Word looks like when you first access it. Across the top, you have all of your ribbons. So as I stated earlier, we are going to focus on the home and the insert ribbon today. You do have quite a few more options, and I probably have some additional ribbons that you do. But for today, we need to make sure that you have is the home ribbon and the insert ribbon. Down below that, in each one of the ribbons, you have all your different groupings. So you have the clipboard group, font group, paragraph group, and so on. And then down in the lower left-hand corner, I had to think about which one that was. It tells me that I'm on page 1 of 1, that I have 0 words in my document. And then over on the right-hand side, there are some different views. But what I want to focus on is the fact that you can zoom in or zoom out. I typically zoom this in so it's easier for you, the participants, the audience to see. So you can feel free to do so if you would like to. All right, so what I need is just some text so that we can create our flyer for today. That's what kind of we're looking at is creating a little flyer. And maybe I'm just going to say, we'll just say garage sale. All right. So I just simply typed in garage sale. And if you want to manipulate something in Microsoft Word, you have to have that item selected in order to change the font, the color, the size, and so on. So the first thing I want to talk about is actually selecting the text, because it used to be that we had to start at the very beginning. So you have I had my cursor and then click and hold down our mouse and pull to the right. Or you had to go to the very end of what you wanted to select and click and pull to the left. That's a little bit different today. If I want to manipulate just one word, I don't really have to select it. I just have to click and place my cursor inside of it. And that will allow me to make an edit to this. So maybe I just want to make this, we'll say purple. So you can just click inside of a word, and it will act as if it is selected. Now, if you want to select the word, you can hover your mouse over it and double click, and it will select the word for you. So we'll just go ahead and make this maybe green. There we go. So you can double click and it will select the word. You can triple click and it will select the paragraph. Now I only have 2 words, but by triple clicking, it will select your paragraph for you. How does it know that where the paragraph ends? Is because when you're ready to move on to the next paragraph, you're going to hit the Enter key on your keyboard, and you are going to force a line break. So when you triple click, that is how Microsoft Word will determine that it needs to stop. Now, the other way to select one particular line, if you would like to, is to bring your mouse over to the left-hand margin and see how my mouse face changes from an I-beam to the cursor pointing in, I'm just going to go ahead and click, and it will select just that one line. Okay. So when I select that one line, I can come up here and I can change my font. So my font defaults to Georgia. You can see that we have all kinds of different fonts that we can use. These are in alphabetical order. It is giving me a live preview. It's a little bit hard to see it, so I'm going to bring this up so you can see what's happening to the words garage sale. So it's giving me a live preview, which is really, really nice. If you've been using the Microsoft Office suite for a while, you probably remember when you had to select the font or select the size and then go look at it. And it was very time consuming. So now we have the opportunity to just go in and hover our mouse over, and it will show us what it's going to look like. So we can select any font in there that we want to. We'll just go with Franklin Gothic Medium, I think is what that is. Then over next to your font, you have your size. So it goes in increments. The smallest that this box has is an 8, and the largest it has is a 72. Again, giving you that live preview when I hover my mouse over these specific numbers. Keep in mind, let's say that you're looking at this and 48 is not quite big enough, but 72 is too big. So what can I do? I can come up here and I can manually type in a number. So I'm just going to type in a 60. And you can determine the number. So if you're looking at those numbers and you say, well, this doesn't really fit my needs, you could go ahead and manually type in a number and it will change the font size. And next to that, you also have 2 uppercase A's. If I click, it's going to increase or decrease the size of my font. So that is another approach that you can take if you would like to. Next to that, I have an uppercase A and a lowercase a. When I go in, it will allow me to put this in sentence case, lowercase, uppercase. I've just changed that so that you'd see what had happened. Capitalize each word, which is what I want, and so on. Before this was available, there are times when you might want to copy and paste something from the internet. And sometimes copying and pasting from the internet, it might be all in capital letters. You had to manually retype that in order for it not to be in all capital letters. So this is a nice little feature, not something that I use very often, but it is a time saver when you need it. The next option is to come here. There we go. I'm just going to hover my mouse over this. That would clear the formatting. So what that would do is it would take it back to the Georgia 11-point font that it defaulted to when I first started. But we want to use this garage sale, so I'm not going to clear that. Down below, you have the ability to boldface, to italic, to underline. You have multiple different types of underline. You can select a color for your underline. So I'm just going to go ahead and maybe boldface it. When one of these is activated, it is grayed out. So I can boldface, I can italic, I can underline, and I'm using my mouse and I'm clicking on those options underneath font. Now the keyboard shortcuts are Control B, Control I, and Control U. And by holding that down, I just turned all 3 of those off. So I can hit Control B and turn it on, hit Control B and turn it off. It's like a light switch. It's just a toggle switch. If you can't remember what the keyboard shortcut is, you can hover your mouse over it and it will tell you. My mouse is a little bit big so that you can see where I'm pointing to, but underneath there it says Control B. So if there is a keyboard shortcut, it will tell you when you hover your mouse over it. Okay. And we have already looked at the font color. If you want to, you can put a background color on. Don't necessarily have to. I'm going to just put no color. I don't want that. About the only time that I will use that is when I'm trying to emphasize something, maybe in an email or in a document. So it is something that I use from time to time. Over on the paragraph group, on the bottom row, we have the ability to left align, which it defaults to center or to right align. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell it that I want this to be centered. And I'm going to click to place my cursor. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit the enter key. And we'll put in an address, 213 West. Whoops. All right. So maybe we don't want that quite as big as the garage sale, so I can highlight that. And what I did was I just went ahead and I started and I just pulled and it will select everything, and I can decrease that font size a little bit. So it's not overbearing. The other thing is that it looks like there's a little space in there. I don't want to do that because it cleared my formatting on me. Let's see. Brings it a little bit closer. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the enter key, and I'm going to tell us to be left aligned again. For our garage sale, we can put in different pictures. We could put in text. I do want to show you how to use the bullets and the numbering. So I am going to go ahead and put in a list. We'll end up deleting it, and then we will put in some pictures. So underneath the bullets. When I click on the bullets, these are the built-in bullets that I have. You've got the dot, the circle, the square, some different objects that you can utilize. So I'm just going to go ahead and select one of them. And what do I have for sale? I have a 2E computer. I have some CDs, and I have let's just say a bookcase. I don't know. So when you go to use bullets, this is what you can do. You can go in and you can utilize these bullets. I can change it anytime I want to. Again, just by hovering my mouse over, it gives me a live preview. You might be glancing at my bullets going, wait a second, what's that? That is my personalized bullet. That is Brooklyn. You can go in and you can define your own bullets if you would like to. So if you come down here to define new bullet, it says, okay, what would you like as your new bullet? This is really nice if you want to showcase the place, your place of employment, or if you're creating a presentation for somebody. If it's a big box store, you might want to grab their logo. You probably noticed in my PowerPoint presentation. Let me pop this back up for a second. On my list, I have the DoSpace logo. So you could do the same in Microsoft PowerPoint. I just wanted to point that out to you. So you have different symbols, you have a picture or your fonts. If I go to picture, because this is the one that's the most fun, you can go to any one of these. You can go in and grab a picture from your PC. You could take a picture from stock images. Stock images is something that Microsoft owns, allowing you to use any of these pictures in your documents. So if you want to search for something, it has to be something very generic. So I couldn't type in the DoSpace. It wouldn't know what that is. I couldn't type in Nebraska football. It wouldn't know what that is. I can type in football though, and it will give me a football. So here's all kinds of different images of footballs. We'll just go ahead and select this one. Should have done a basketball, I guess, concerning the fact that it is basketball season, not football season, but you get the gist. So there is my my bullets of the football. Now, if you want to, you can select the bullets and you can increase or decrease the size of them. So you have a little bit of room to manipulate them if you would like to. So that's a really cool feature that I like to use. You can also number your items if you would like to. If you think of something else that you want to add to the list, if I hit the enter key, it will automatically go to item number 4. If you're done with the list, you can just hit the backspace key and it will stop the numbering. You can also, let's say that you think of something in between items 2 and 3. If I place my cursor after CDs and hit the enter key, it will just renumber them. So if I add something, we'll just say DVDs. If I add something, it will automatically update the numbering. If I delete something, so let's just come up here and delete the 2E computer, it went ahead and renumbered the others. So it's pretty user friendly in terms of that. Just checking to see if you have any questions. We'll go ahead and delete that. So that's the font group, paragraph group. Let's come over and talk about the clipboard group for a little while, because that's fun too. And this is a great way to learn how to use your keyboard shortcuts. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to select garage sale. Now, let's say that I want to copy garage sale because I want to use it in another document maybe. So I could copy this, but I didn't see anything happen. So what happened was Microsoft Word copied it to something called your clipboard. On your clipboard, you can have up to 25 items. So I'm going to open up my clipboard. And to open up my clipboard, I'm going to click on this little arrow pointing down. And it tells me that that's all I have on my clipboard. So you can have up to 25 items on your clipboard. If you copy a 26 item, it will automatically delete item number 1. So if I copy, so double click, copy, now the garage is on my clipboard. Double click on sale, now sale is on my clipboard. I can go ahead and highlight my address that I put in here, copy that. That's on my clipboard. Now, the clipboard is your random access memory, okay? Sometimes if I copy a very large document or a very large picture, when you go to quit out of the application, then the Microsoft Word will say, hey, are you going to use this? Because it is taking up a lot of your random access memory. That's not the exact message, but that's what it means. Meaning that it's slowing down your computer. So if you don't need to use it anymore, just go ahead and say no. You don't. You could take it off the clipboard, and that way it won't slow your computer down. Okay, so now I copied all of those. If I wanted to, I could have selected. Let's just if I select this line, I can also do a Control-C to copy. So now I have another item on my clipboard. Now, let's say that I want to use some of this. If you don't have the clipboard open, which you don't have to open it, I really just wanted to show it to you. If you go to paste something, which is Control-V as in Victor, it's going to paste the last thing that you copy. All right. You can have your clipboard open and you can select a specific item that you want. All right. Or let me just undo that. The keyboard shortcut for undo is Control-Z as in zebra. Now, in Windows 10 or Windows 11, I'm going to close this out. This is a feature that I use all the time, folks. This was a game changer for me when I found out about this. If you hold down the Windows key, which on my keyboard, it's in between the Control key and the Alt key in the lower left-hand side. It's got 4 little squares. It looks like the Microsoft logo. So if I hold down the Win key and hit the V as in Victor, look what it does. it comes up and it gives me my clipboard. So I've got, and I'm going to have all kinds of stuff on here because I've been copying and pasting things all day. But what's nice about this is that it doesn't matter what application I'm in. If I'm in Word, PowerPoint, Excel, on the internet, I can bring up this clipboard, but with the WinV, and utilize it. So I use this all the time. Going back to your clipboard and the memory, if you log off of your computer or you shut your computer down or restart it, it will clear all of that memory automatically. I can also come up here and click on clear all, but I'm not going to. I don't want to. So that is Control C to copy, Control V to paste. Now, let's say that I decide I don't want the address right here, but I am going to put it in my, maybe in my header. So what's the difference between copy and cut? Just like it sounds, copy makes multiple copies of one thing, or you can. To cut, you are going to remove it from one place and put it in another. So I can highlight this text, click on cut. Oop, it went to my clipboard. I promise you, we didn't see anything happen, but it did. I'm going to come up here and double click to launch my header. And I'm going to go back to home. And I'm just going to tell it that I want to paste it. And there it is in my header. So what's a header? A header is an option that you have in Microsoft Word that will allow you to put information in, and it will view on every page. Okay, so probably not appropriate for a garage sale flyer, but we're going to leave it there anyway. Okay, so that is your cut, copy, and paste. Now let's move over to the insert ribbon. This is where we're going to start having a lot of fun with this particular webinar. So you have all kinds of things that you can insert into our flyer. We're going to come over here. We're going to start with illustrations. On the illustrations, we're going to go to pictures. You have this device. My particular version of Microsoft Word has mobile device. If you don't have it, I wouldn't worry about it. I don't even think I clicked on it. Whoops. I went over to shapes. I didn't mean to do that. Let's click on it and see what it does. Your images will be ready in a minute. I don't think I've ever hooked up my phone to my computer. So I'm finding this to be very interesting. Thank you for taking this journey with me. I have thousands of pictures though, so that might take a little while. And I don't think, yeah, I have to close this in order to go do something else. All right. I want to be respectful of your time, so we're not going to sit there and wait for that. I will look into that another time. But if you don't have that, don't worry about it. Again, you have stock images and you have online pictures. What is this? I'm going to go to the online pictures. So built into Microsoft Word is a search engine, and that search engine is Bing. We have multiple search engines. You might use Bing, you might use Yahoo, Google, Dogpile. There's all kinds of them. But Microsoft owns Bing, so they have incorporated Bing into their Microsoft applications. So I'm my garage sale. Let's see what we can find. Let's see, what do I put? I'm going to put a bike in my garage sale. So I'm just going to type in bike, hit the enter key, and it's going to give me all kinds of bicycles. So if we have a bicycle for sale, I'm just going to go ahead and select this one, click on insert, and it's going to give me the picture of the bike. How slick is that? I didn't even have to go outside of Microsoft Word. So now, when I inserted the bike, you'll note that I have another ribbon that appeared. In order to manipulate or move this picture around, I have to come up here to the arrange subgrouping and go to wrap text and tell this to be tight. Okay, then I have the ability to move this around on my screen. If you're taking notes, make sure that you write that down. Wrap text, and you have to make each one of your pictures tight, and you have to do them one at a time. And that's so that you have control over the picture and you can move it around on your document. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the tight. I'm going to reduce the size of this. To reduce the size of this proportionately, you are going to hover your mouse over the bubbles on the corners, and I'm just going to go ahead and drag this so it's a little bit smaller, because we're just going to create a little bit of a collage here for our garage sale. Come here. There you go. All right, so there's picture number 1. Let's go ahead and go back to the insert ribbon. I'm going to go back to pictures, to online pictures. And what else are we going to sell in our... We're going to sell a basketball. All right, so we have a basketball. We'll just click on insert. Basketball is pretty big. And then I am going to go up to wrap text, tell it to be tight. I'm going to reduce the size of it. And I can move it around on my screen. Now, sometimes this is not an easy task. I will tell you that right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and place this on my screen. And we'll go get one more. So I'm going to go back up to insert, back up to pictures, and to online pictures. Trying to think of what else I have to sell in my garage sale. Let's go with, maybe I have a couch. All right, so let's see, which couch do I have for sale? We'll just go with this couch and click on insert. It's downloading the picture. It will be with us momentarily. All right, so you can see that the couch is behind my pictures. As soon as I go up and I tell this to be tight, now I can see that couch. I can reduce the size of it. Come here. And there's my couch, okay? If you want to, you can also order these. So you can see that the white area of the couch is overlapping the bike and the basketball. I can do a right click and I can tell this to go to the back. And then maybe just pull this out a little bit. And that way it's not covering up the bike and the basketball. So when you're playing around with pictures, if you haven't done this before, it can be frustrating to play with the pictures, but it's also a lot of fun to put those pictures in there. Then if you're ready to continue on, this can be a little bit of a stickler as well. What I want to do is to place my cursor down below the pictures. So you have to double click and you have to force it to place that cursor below there. Let's move back over to the insert ribbon and see what else we have. We also have shapes. So if I go to shapes, let's just go ahead and grab an arrow. And it doesn't insert an arrow right away, but what I have to do is, you notice that my mouse face changed. What I can do is I can just click and start pulling, and I can insert a shape. So maybe we want to, point it, garage sale. So when I insert that shape, look what I have. I have another shape format. So we'll just go ahead, we'll make this green. Oh, isn't that cool? And we'll go back to the insert ribbon because we're going to have another one for the other side. We'll go to shapes and we're just going to tell it There we go. I'm just gonna. There, and we'll go to shape format, and we're just gonna put in the purple. There we go. By inserting the shapes, it's a lot of fun. So we've got pictures, we have shapes. Let's come over here to Smart Art. So on the Smart Art, I'm going to click on that. And this gives you Smart Art graphics. So if you have something that you want to list, if you have a process, if you have a cycle, you can see all of those listed there. I don't need to read those off to you, but this is pretty cool because I can come in here and I can select a list if I want to. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on vertical list, click on OK. And it gives me a list. Now, where did my pictures go? Oh, they're up on. All right. So let's reduce the size of this. And now it's up on my page. All right. So this just gives you a list. So I can go in and I can put in a list. So maybe we're just going to type in bike, basketball, couch. Whoops, not coach. And it will insert that. So maybe we just want to have a list instead of the actual pictures. If you do, let's say that you insert a picture and you don't want it anymore, just click on it, hit the delete key on your keyboard, and we can delete those pictures. We can move this. I'm going to move this up. So it's kind of underneath garage sale. So when I have this selected, I can go to Smart Art Design. If I don't like the colors, I can change the colors. That's much more attractive. So you can go in and select the colors that you would like to utilize. If you have another item, I could come in here and I can tell it that I want to add another shape. So let's say if I have a chair to go along with the couch. It will add that in for me. So you can continue to add items if you would like. If I move over here to the format, where is that? No, maybe it's on Smart Art Design. Oh yeah, I can if you choose this and you say, I don't think I like that layout. I can go in and I can change it anytime I want to. I can change it. There's a live preview of what it's going to look like. So you can go in, just select one, and then you can go in. Oh, this one's cool. You can go in and you can select another one. Now, why did I say, ooh, this is cool? Because if I click on here and go to online pictures, which one was that? The bike? Yes. We're just going to type in bike again. We'll grab the bike that we had before, click on insert, and it puts that picture there. So it's not only giving us the list, but it's allowing us to insert a picture next to the list. I think this is a cool feature myself. Whoops, too many clicks. Oh, did I say from icons? Oh. Sorry, we can just go to images from here. And I was on couch. Whoops, what is it with me and coach today, huh? Let's go with couch. We'll just pick the one that has the dog on it. The dog is not for sale though, folks. And then we'll go in and grab a chair. You could do stock images as well. Either way. Oh, it's thinking. Huh? What's going on here? It's thinking, it's thinking, it's thinking. Microsoft Word is not responding. There it is. Okay, so now it responded. So that is just going to insert and to smart art, allowing you to just jazz up your document a little bit. That's a really nice feature. I am going to be showcasing this again next week when we use PowerPoint. That is probably where I use this more often than Microsoft Word. Hey, well, let's move over to links. We can also put a link in here. So let's say we want to go to a specific website. So let's just type in www.dospace.org. When I hit the space bar, it's going to automatically turn this into a link. And look what it does. When I hover my mouse over it, it says, hey, hold down the control key, click on it, and it will take you to that website. So yeah, you can skip the verification. It's coming over here. I'm just going to pull it over here so you can see that you can have a link in there. So I just typed in, come here. I just typed in the website. You can also disguise the website. So let's say that I have a garage sale. Let me highlight this. There we go. So I have the garage sale and I want to create a link out of that. I can certainly do so. I can come up here to link and tell it that I want to insert a link, or Control K is the keyboard shortcut, and I can come down here and I can type in the address. So www. Sam's Club evidently was one that I used. We'll just put in DoSpace again .org, and I'm going to click on OK. Now I evidently didn't have the A in the G selected. I'm going to undo that. I don't like the way that looks. Okay, insert this again. There we go. All right, now if I click on garage sale, it will take me to the DoSpace, and it's going on another monitor, but I'm just going to pull it over to show you that it worked. You can do this not only from words, you can select an object if you want to. So let me see. Yeah. So I can put this in. Let's just do www.huskers.com. And there's the Huskers website. Okay. So looking at that, I'm just going to see if there are any questions. All right. So don't forget that next week is PowerPoint. March 28th is Internet Basics. As always, a big shout out to the DoSpace for sponsoring the Friday Lunch and Learns. I'm happy to say that this is my 5th year of doing the Friday Lunch and Learns. So thanks so much, folks. Have a great afternoon. Stay safe, and we will see you next week. Take care, everybody.